Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I'm your most favorite manifestation coach under the sun. Reason why there's no such coaching like my coaching anywhere on the internet or anywhere else for that matter. I coach mainly in audio exchange as well as phone sessions. I'm the coach that spends the most time with each and every single client of mine. I spend an inordinate amount of time on every single client because I really care about every single client that comes into my coaching, and I genuinely want them to succeed in whatever they're doing. Now, every single person that needs to come in and do the work on themselves either will do the work or will not. Now, parenthesis here, 99% of my clients do the work. With the exception of one or two in the history of me coaching, okay, maybe three, okay, all of them came from YouTube, parenthesis here. All of them did the work and achieved results. You need to be persistent. You need to really understand that nobody else is going to do the work for you. I will do my part and I will show up and really put in the time into you and invest my time into you. But you need to do the same. I recommend 2 to 3 month minimum in coaching with me simply because this is the amount of time that it does take for me to dive deep into your history, understand who you are, what kind of manifestations you have produced thus far, and how to change all that. And so the way I coach is, like I said, audio exchange. And let me explain. For those who are new, by the way, subscribe. Don't just listen. You will learn a lot on this channel. But ultimately, I do recommend coaching, like I said. The link is below and all the information is below if you have any questions. So the audio exchange goes like this. We get on the phone first. I get to know you. It's ideal if you book me for an hour first. And then discuss with me what the objectives of your basically life is at the moment. I will discuss that for an hour. I will record this session with your permission, of course. And then you have the choice of booking either the unlimited audio exchange or the unlimited phone sessions. Now, let me explain. The audio exchange goes like this. You record your first audio or subsequent audios. We start with childhood, going into adolescence, college years, etc. The audio has to be 20-minute max. I analyze that audio. Usually it takes me about 2 hours because I hear it more than once. And first without taking the notes, then with taking the notes, certain parts more than once because everybody speaks differently. And so I transcribe that audio and then record my own audio. So this process takes me sometimes 2 to 3 hours, truth be told, okay? And depending on the audio, how packed with information it is, I really need to understand what you're telling me. In this manner, we interact 2 to 3 times per week. Okay, you also have some phone call sessions in that package. I think it's 5 phone calls. And so whenever you want to use them, if you want to use them, some people don't use them at all. Some people use some. But normally this is how we go in this package, okay? It's very useful to do this for someone who either has a really busy schedule or just prefers to record themselves rather than be on the phone. The other package is the phone session unlimited package, and that's a similar process, except we're on the phone 2 to 3 times per week, and the session lasts an hour, and I record that hour, and then once I hang up with you, I transcribe that session, which obviously takes a lot longer than 20-minute audio. And then we'll reconvene at the next session with my feedback and further instructions, etc., etc. I always give people homework at the end of each audio or each phone session so that you keep working on the next and the next and the next. Now, look, 2 to 3 months in coaching, which is what I recommend, is minuscule compared to what people, so many people in my coaching have come to me and said, Anna, you don't understand. I've went to this seminar and this coach and that coach. I've tried everything. I've tried therapy, la, la, la. And I've spent years doing this, and I came to your coaching, and not to brag, I don't really brag on me, I brag on my process that I've developed and works every time, like I said, if you do the work. And in your coaching, I really excelled in the minimum amount of time. And this is what my objective is, not to spend endless fucking years doing this situation and understanding how to create, but to really get it and move on with your life. Now, there are some people who stayed in my coaching longer than that, even a year, even 2 years. I still consider it not as much as some people who spend like decades, okay, in coaching. Now, by coaching, some people who stayed with me for like a couple of years now, this is an entirely different process. It's usually people who are outside YouTube. I have some celebrity clients, some people who are well known, la la la. And so they check in with me, a couple times a month, maybe 3 or 4 times a month, depending on their schedule. It's an entirely different paying structure. It's an entirely different process that I don't advertise on YouTube because I want to offer coaching for a reasonable amount of money so that people could come into my coaching more often and I can help more people. But the idea is that even if you spend 6 months in my coaching, it's still unfathomably minuscule compared to what people go through in order to understand this, all right? I'm very precise, very thorough, very dedicated to my clients, and I really demand results. And so this is why it takes the amount of time that it takes and not years on end, okay? I don't want you to stay in my coaching forever. Unless it's something that it's a touch-up or this and that. Some people come back, for telephone sessions that I don't record, or sometimes I record them if they want me to, but it's a lot more of a relaxed process where now we just talk about things and discuss. There are those clients as well. So I do different kinds of things, but in the beginning, if you're coming into my coaching, you really need to go through the boot camp, okay? You really need to do it the way that I instruct you to, and then we can reconvene if you want to come back and do phone sessions and la la la. So just to be clear, the phone sessions I have on my website are different from the phone sessions unlimited. The phone sessions unlimited is the coaching, the original coaching. The phone sessions is for somebody who's coming back into my coaching for a touch-up. So I hope that's clear, and if it's confusing, I'm sorry. Also, just to remind you, I do offer seminars, up to 10 people. If it's more, we can discuss. I usually do them via Zoom. It has worked wonderfully for a lot of people. I think 10 people at a time is a reasonable, amount of people. I can usually prepare whatever you want me to talk about, customize it based on the group's needs, etc. And so that has worked wonderfully. Again, the link is below. If you have any questions before booking, you can email me, or you can just book, sign the agreement, and let me know when you'd like to get on the phone with me. All right? For those people who sometimes complain that I cover this in the beginning, you know what? If I don't cover this, I get 100 emails about the same questions. So I'd rather cover it each and every single time to just eliminate all the questions, or at least most of them. Anyway, the subject of today is your thoughts are his or her thoughts. Of course, this is about SP, but you can use it on anybody, right? In business, friendships, family, la la la, whoever, really. Doesn't just have to apply. And doesn't just have to apply to people, period. But it's more fun to do this with people because you see the results so quickly. It's amazing, actually. If you really do the work on yourself and on your beliefs, like I do in my coaching, you will find that, you can change somebody's thoughts overnight, okay? So if anybody listening in has this story of I've tried everything and it hasn't worked, you didn't do it the right way. So if you come into my coaching, I can teach you the right way. But you have to, like I said, put in the work. There's no work around it. Don't listen to these people who are going to tell you manifest him overnight. I almost wanted to title my this video, Manifest Them Overnight, just to mock these people. But then I was like, maybe not this time. As a kind of a tongue-in-cheek. But essentially, it is almost overnight, except provided you've done the work, right? So if your situation right now and you're listening in is that, you're desperate, you're upset, your SP is nowhere to be found, you haven't spoken to them and la la la, you can start manifesting them immediately. Now, manifestations are always immediate. Now, listen to what I'm saying here. This is what I mean. If you decide to manifest this person back without going back and forth on your decision, without one day you're angry, one day you're whatever, in love with them, one day you're, remembering the past and their mistakes, and the other day you wanting to create a new version of them, that kind of shit doesn't fly with manifestation. Manifestation is immediate in the sense that, first of all, it already always existed. You're not so original. I hate to break it to you. So if you're wanting to manifest them back, you already have a parallel reality in your arsenal in which you already are with that person. Meaning, in your creation, in your timeline, there is a parallel reality in which you already are with that wonderful version of this person. They're doing whatever you want, licking jam off your toes. They propose to you. You're having a lovely time. Some goddamn where, in French Polynesia or wherever you are. And you're having the time of your life. Now, it's already manifest. How you bring it here overnight, quote unquote, is you make a decision and you stay on course. Now, imagine a boat that is kind of like deciding where to go. Where do I want to go? Do I want to go to Monaco? Do I want to go to Brazil? Do I want to go to South Africa? And you take, your trip from New York and you embark on this lovely, magnificent boat. And then in the middle, you're like, shit, maybe I should go back to New York. I can't do this. This is too frightening. Maybe I'll never get to Bali or wherever we're going, Brazil or whatever, South Africa. Why don't you understand that manifestations are overnight, as in decisions? I decided this is what's going to happen. Now, you can also take a plane to fucking Monaco or wherever the fuck you're going and fast track your manifestation. But the way it happens, if you stay on course, whatever, if it's a plane, if it's a boat, if you're swimming there, okay? It has to be that you're like, you've decided and you're going there. And that's it. There's no turning back. There's no turning back. You decided, that's it. But what a lot of you do is you go back and forth. What if they don't love me anymore? What if the third party is, they want to stay there? What if this not, my favorite, what if this is not meant to be? It's been too long. Not meant to be. Oh my fucking God. I just want to shake somebody sometimes when they say this to me. It's not necessary to hand over your power to somebody when all it takes is a decision. Not meant to be? By whom? What is it? We're back to God now on the clouds over there telling you what's meant to be and what's not meant to be? Everything already exists. So like I said, this version of this parallel reality where you are with this person already exists. So meant to be, what the fuck is that shit? Like seriously, explain this to me. Okay? You do this to yourself. You have contradictory thoughts. You have doubts. You have this. Now, momentarily, it's okay. Like, I'm a human. Everybody's a human. So do I have doubts. So the most magnificent gurus under the sun have doubts, okay? Not that, by the way, parenthesis here, do not think for 1 second that I consider myself a guru. I do not. I'm just a coach, okay? Relax. What I simply meant to say is that everybody has doubts, but don't do it all the time. You can have one doubt like this. Oh, maybe, no, I'm not going there. That's it. Doubt, we have concluded our conversation. Comes up again? No, thank you. Comes up 10,000 times a day? No, thank you. You have to be steady in your desire to manifest what it is you want to manifest. So you can believe whatever you want to believe. And by believing what you want, you will make it come true. This is why I don't understand. And, a lot of people are into tarot cards and this and that and blah, blah. And, with all due respect, I don't understand the concept. I really don't. Specifically, like when they start going over like the zodiac signs, oh my God, I can't. It's a Leo. It could be a Capricorn. It could be a Sagittarius. It's a zebra. It's an elephant. Oh, come on. You've just named the entire horoscope. Like, what the fuck? Like, I would say it's like this. Decide what you want. Have you decided yet? It would be really instrumental if you do. Okay? The whole universe is waiting on your decision. That's what it really comes down to. You're the CEO of your company called Universe Your Life. That's the way I see it. And every morning you wake up, you're in the boardroom with your consultants. I already discussed that. You can imagine your consultants. In my case, it's my guardian angels, whatever. No, they're not imaginary. Everything exists on different planes. And if you're really going to do this work right, you better believe that there are higher powers that are helping you to do this. The universe is full of benevolence if you invite it. If you start inviting these energies of doubt and fear and bullshit, guess what? They're going to, be just as effective. So be aware of the energy that you're putting out there. Okay. And so you're the CEO of your life. And every morning you wake up, you make decisions. What kind of decisions are you making? The decision to manifest this person or not to manifest this person? The decision to be angry with them all over again or to forgive them and let the shit go? That's the decision every single day. And what, most importantly, are you going to believe today? Because all of it is real. The reason I make fun of tarot cards all day is because all of it is real. Whatever that person says is real on Instagram or wherever you watch it on YouTube. Excuse me. It just occurred to me that I could just write a book just talking and somebody taking my dictation. Otherwise, I get carried away. And somebody to help me form it. Don't worry, it's going to come before the end of the year. So you don't have to give away your power. Everything already exists. All tarot readers, all their readings are true. That's the thing. They're all true. Now you get to decide which one. Now you don't get to decide it by watching all these tarot card readers and relinquishing your power to them. Oh yeah, maybe this is true. Oh, maybe this is true. Or maybe this is true. Or maybe this is true. Or what's worth, getting upset over some shitty reading that they give you. Or listen to every single word they say. You know what I do? If I hear something during my day, and it's not a tarot card reader, okay, whatever it is I hear, or if somebody says something to me I don't like, I say, this does not apply to me. I decide what happens. And you will find, okay, whenever those tarot card readers say something to you that matches what you decided, it's because you decided it in the first place. So isn't it a lot more fun to just decide what it is you want and stop consulting with people who are just like flipping cards out and just doing whatever? They're not in your energy. They're not with you there. That would be one situation that I would discuss. And even if they were, you know what? They don't know what's actually in your mind. They don't know what you're working on precisely. They're kind of like, they kind of know, but not exactly. And so if you want to be precise with your creation, in other words, they might get a whiff of something if they're in the presence of you, but they don't know exactly. Only you know where you're going. And so instead of like wasting your time on listening to 300 million people, what it is that you think that is happening with them or you think that you should do, why don't you decide it? It's so simple. Why don't you decide that they're thinking of you, they're obsessing over you, they're coming back to you, they're dropping the third party, whatever the fuck you want them to do. It's not a joke. Guys, when I'm telling you that your thoughts are literally mirroring their thoughts, it's completely mirrored. If you start thinking something like, they don't like me, I'm so insecure, they're going to choose the third party and stay with them for the rest of their life, that's exactly what they're thinking. That's exactly what they will do. If you're thinking they've made a huge mistake, they're obsessed with me, they regret losing me, they all of a sudden like a lightning struck them in the head or something and they realized I'm the one for them, they're coming back to propose to me and divorcing the other party or leaving them behind, that's exactly what will happen. But you need to be consistent with it and you need to let go of the past version in order to like completely be one with the new one, with the new reality, okay? There is what people tell you, and there is what you should be thinking, okay? In my coaching, for example, I never tell people what to manifest. Never. I instruct them to do certain things in order to understand themselves better and in order to create certain things in a more effective way and direct them how to do it. But to tell somebody this is what's going to happen for you, that's absolute nonsense. It's absolute nonsense, okay? You are going to create what you're going to create, and there's no telling what you can create. Absolutely none, because your mind is one of a genius if you let it to be that way. In other words, it's not so mysterious what they're thinking. You could sit down right here, right now, and you could have been thinking the shittiest shit about this person. Like really, cursing them out in your mind. I'm being dramatic on purpose, just, trying to make a point here. You could be in a worse position. They could have left you. They could have married somebody. Anything you want. Give me a situation and I'll tell you it doesn't matter. And you could sit down right here, right now and decide in this moment right now, my life is turning around, whether that's finances, love, whatever, anything I want to make happen. And if in this moment right now, I decide that this person had out of the blue, quote unquote, had magically started to develop even like the most amazing deep feelings for me, had fallen madly head over heels in love with me. Doesn't matter that they haven't seen me in years, but suddenly they realize that they have always been in love with me and only me, and there's nobody else but me. It will be like, that's it. That's what they're doing. It might take a day or two, for you to keep doing that in your mind, for the waves of the quantum waves to reach them, but it's instantaneous. It's instantaneous. The creation is instantaneous in their mind. And it might be like a thought pops up in their head and they're like, wow, I haven't thought about this person in a while. Or, wow, I'm thinking of them differently. I wonder why that is. Or maybe they see something, maybe they see your name somewhere. Maybe, I don't know, they see a movie that reminds them of you. Maybe, I don't know, some friend told them about you. And suddenly that the universe has orchestrated for you that situation where they are, reminiscing, they're thinking about you. And now it's happening. And now you have to keep the ball rolling, in other words. That's where the persistence comes. And the most important thing that I really want to convey, you will be persistent. Some people come into my coaching or ask me questions via email. How do I continue being persistent? There's nothing easier than to be persistent when you believe that you're actually doing it. Okay? So how do you know you're doing it? Because you're thinking it. So when you're being persistent, it's because you're assuming that what you're doing is 100% true. Meaning, if you're sitting down and deciding that right now, right here, this person is changing their mind about me, or right now, right here, they're falling head over heels in love with me, and they're deciding to marry me, have children with me, and whatever, that's exactly what they're thinking. It doesn't matter what they told you before. It does not matter. Okay, you visited another parallel version of them, another parallel reality that was shitty, no doubt. Now, can you please let go of that shitty version is the question one. And can you please believe in the new magnificent version just as much as you believed in the shitty version? Because chances are all the time, 100% of the time, you created the shitty version out of your shitty beliefs, shitty experiences previous to that person. You replicated that experience based on your history. Mom and dad, dropped off some really nice beliefs for you, being sarcastic here. And here you are, you created this version. If you want to create a new version, you have to let go of the past. And so a change in the mindset is a change in the outcome. If you want to keep going with your drama panorama, hating this person, recalling the past, crying in bed, watching 300 million YouTube videos with different techniques, la 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 la, you can do that till the end of time. You can do that till the end of time. Yeah, when you're like 199 years old. You can do that all day long. You can do that till you're 199 years old, okay? Or you can ask yourself a question. What if this is just one version of events? One version of a person, one version of perception, one version of a situation that doesn't belong in my life anymore. And what if I'm so powerful that I've created this in the first place, and the entire universe is waiting for me to create something different? And what if all this time that I wasted not creating something different is the reason why it took me so long? And it is taking me so long to manifest them back. Because the truth is, in the minute that you change your attitude towards this person, in the minute that you forgive them, in the minute that you stop making it so difficult, in the minute that you accept your power and start manifesting shit instantaneously and on purpose, this person will show up in no time. It will not take years. It will not take months. It will be almost instantaneous. It will be like a week or two, if you're really doing it on purpose. True story. But the idea is to really work through your resentment, perhaps, towards them. Like I said, the old memories, all this drama panorama, your beliefs in particular, the very beliefs that created these versions of events, things like that. Now, I don't know your story. You know your story. There's usually some shit that you really need to work through that's preventing you from manifesting them back. It's as if you're telling them, do not come back. I don't like you. I don't want this experience all over again. You hurt me so badly. I don't want to be hurt again. I don't trust you. I don't want this. And at the same time, you're saying, I miss you so much. I love you so much. Where did we go wrong? Can we make it work? Na, 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 na. Can you come? Can you call me? This is completely contradictory. You need to be on purpose. Do you see what I see? You need to be on purpose and be like, I forgive you and I love you. I know I created this version, the shittiest version probably that I could have created. But I understand myself now and I understand you a lot better. We do a lot of digging in my coaching on that. And when you truly are in this kind of soft place, not in a like rigid place, not in a I'm right and they're wrong place, not in a they left me for somebody I feel abandoned, la la la, then you have the ability to create whatever you want. And if you wanted them to come back, they will. They will. Nothing is so uncertain. Some people say, will they ever come back? Do you think they will come back? Yes. Do you want them to come back is the question. Nothing is uncertain. What's uncertain is your decision, okay? Your decision is what's uncertain. If you want something, you can have it. It's just a matter of allowing yourself, one, to decide, to allow yourself to do the work on it and allow yourself to really contemplate the idea that this could actually be true. That it can happen to you, yes, to you, regardless of what happened in the past. And even the shitty past somehow served you, so much so. Maybe a lot of people get into my coaching because of the shitty situation they're in. And they're so grateful for it because they learn so much. And they say, well, if it wasn't for this shitty version I've created, I would have never learned this much. So maybe that's the benefit behind this creation. Everything has always a benefit. Everything always propels you further. And so, regardless of what happened before, you can definitely create something magnificent. And again, if you're noticing their absence, if you're arguing against your creation, if you're saying to yourself, they're not here, they're with somebody else, stop glorifying the third party, by the way. Stop glorifying the third party. Stop glorifying the problem. Stop glorifying the past, okay? Stop glorifying the quote unquote mistakes you made and this and that. It's irrelevant. In creation, it's only you who is like so busy like shuffling through them. In creation, it goes like this. Everything already exists. You just need to decide which reality you want to reside in. You need to be in accord with that reality in the way that you think, in the way that you feel. You need to stay there put and completely marry that reality and make the decision that you're going to stay there. Okay? And when you're deliberate like that, the seas will part. The seas will part and the universe will transfer you, or you transfer yourself into that parallel reality. And the unfolding will be, quite frankly, astonishing. Overnight, things will start changing. And so, in conclusion, if you're not receiving a text from this person, if you're not getting an email or whatever, smoke signal, it's because there's something you are not either not letting go of, not forgiving, you don't believe this can happen to you, and you don't reside in the parallel reality where this shit already is happening. Okay? Because it is happening. And so, for whatever reason, you're not letting yourself go there. And you and only you know the answer. This is why I recommend coaching. Some people, like I said, come back for a refresher, for a little bit like tuning in, if you will. But if you'd like to book coaching with me, all the information is below. I recommend that you pre-book as soon as you can, because I only have a limited amount of spots, and it's usually first come first serve, like I said. And so people, conclude their coaching, they're leaving, some people coming in. And so as soon as you can, book the coaching so that you can be the first one in line. Okay, that's what I really recommend. Just being honest here. Okay, I'm not, and if you have any questions, just reach out to me via email and or just book me and schedule a phone session to begin our conversation. All right. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time. Ciao, ciao.